Let's talk about betrayal. Not the kind you read about in novels, but a quiet physiological betrayal that millions of adults over 60 are experiencing at this very moment. It's the betrayal of a body that has served you well for decades, now struggling with simple acts of strength. It's your own legs, the very limbs that carried you through life, suddenly feeling like strangers, unreliable, weak, and unsteady. Most people are told this is an unavoidable consequence of time, a bill that simply comes due. They are told to accept it. I am here to tell you that this narrative is not only wrong, it is dangerous. That weakness is not a symptom of your age. It is a symptom of a specific ongoing deficiency. There is a silent battle being waged in your body every single day, a battle between muscle preservation and muscle decay. And for far too many of us, that battle is being lost decisively in the first 30 minutes after we wake up. The culprit is not a disease, but a habit, a simple overlooked mistake made at the breakfast table that is systematically dismantling the foundation of your mobility. My name is Charles Wilson. For over 40 years as a specialist in geriatric medicine, I have watched this slow betrayal unfold in countless patients. I have also seen, with absolute certainty, how it can be stopped and even reversed. Today, we are not going to talk about getting old. We are going to talk about the science of muscle. I will show you precisely how a single, missing nutrient in your morning routine is giving the advantage to the forces of decay. And I will provide you with the exact, practical knowledge you need to arm the forces of preservation. What you learn in this video is the critical difference between a future of dependence and a future of strength. So, please give me your full attention, because this is not about adding years to your life, but about adding life, strength, and independence to your years. To truly understand this battle, we must redefine our understanding of muscle itself. We must elevate it from its role as mere scaffolding for our skeleton to its rightful place as the central pillar of our metabolic health and longevity. Your muscle mass is, without exaggeration, your body's pension plan for a healthy future. It is a dynamic, metabolically active organ system that governs everything from your body composition to your ability to regulate blood sugar. When you contract your muscles, you are not just moving a limb. You are commanding the release of hundreds of beneficial molecules known as myokines. These molecules are your body's own internal pharmacy, traveling through your bloodstream to reduce chronic inflammation, enhance immune surveillance, improve fat metabolism, and even promote the growth of new neurons in your brain. A body with a healthy reserve of muscle is a body that is resilient, metabolically flexible, and armed against the insults of aging. Therefore, the loss of this precious tissue is not a cosmetic issue. It is a systemic crisis. This crisis is driven by the daily balance of two fundamental processes: muscle protein synthesis and muscle protein breakdown. Let us revisit our city analogy. Your muscle mass is the city. Muscle protein breakdown is the demolition crew, a vital service that identifies and removes old, damaged, or unsafe protein structures. This process is essential for preventing the accumulation of cellular debris and maintaining tissue quality. Muscle protein synthesis is the construction crew, taking the amino acids from your diet and erecting new, high-quality protein structures, from the contractile fibers that generate force to the mitochondria that produce energy. In our youth, the city's mayor and planning commission are highly effective. The signals to build are received loud and clear, and construction easily keeps pace with, or even exceeds, demolition, leading to a strong and growing metropolis. However, as we age, a state of anabolic resistance takes hold. The entire system for new construction becomes sluggish. This is a multifaceted issue. At a microscopic level, some of the muscle stem cells, known as satellite cells, which are responsible for repair and regeneration, become less responsive. Furthermore, a phenomenon known as cellular senescence can occur. Some cells enter a zombie-like state, where where they stop dividing but refuse to die. These senescent cells secrete a cocktail of inflammatory signals that degrade the surrounding tissue and impair the function of neighboring healthy muscle cells, creating a toxic microenvironment that is hostile to growth. Compounding this, the efficiency of our circulatory system may decline, leading to a slower delivery of nutrients and hormones to the muscle tissue. The sum of these changes means the construction crew is now working in a deteriorating city with poor communication, slow material delivery, and a general state of bureaucratic inertia. While the building process falters, the demolition process continues unabated. This creates the net loss of muscle tissue that defines sarcopenia. A critical detail here is which parts of the city are demolished first. Our muscles are composed of different fiber types. Type Y, or slow-twitch fibers, are built for endurance. They allow you to walk for long periods. Type 2, or fast-twitch fibers, are built for power and speed. They are what you use to quickly stand up from a chair, to lift a heavy bag of groceries, or, most critically, to react in a fraction of a second to catch your balance and prevent a fall. Sarcopenia preferentially targets these type 2 fast-twitch fibers. This is why one of the first things people notice is not a loss of endurance, but a loss of power. They can still walk the distance, but they struggle to get out of a deep sofa. This selective atrophy of our power-generating fibers is precisely what makes falls so much more likely and so much more devastating. This physical decline initiates a cascade of psychological and social consequences. The physical world, which was once a source of engagement and joy, begins to feel like a field of hazards. A simple curb, a set of stairs, an uneven patch of grass, all become sources of anxiety. This constant low-grade fear leads to activity avoidance. The weekly walk with friends is canceled. The trip to the grocery store is replaced with a delivery service. The world of the individual begins to shrink, constricting from the community down to the neighborhood, and eventually just to the home. This social isolation is a potent driver of depression and accelerated cognitive decline. It also feeds the physical problem in a vicious cycle. As one becomes less active, the muscles receive even less stimulus, and the sarcopenic process accelerates. Should a fall occur, this cycle intensifies dramatically. Hospitalization for an injury inevitably involves bed rest, which is catastrophic for aging muscle. Inactivity, combined with the stress of injury, and often inadequate hospital nutrition, can lead to a loss of muscle mass that might have taken years to occur in normal life, all within a matter of days or weeks. This is the frailty spiral, a devastating feedback loop of physical decline, fear, inactivity, and social withdrawal. It all starts with that silent, daily imbalance in the city of your muscles, an imbalance that is powerfully and decisively influenced by your very first meal of the day. Recognizing that our bodies are fighting this uphill battle against anabolic resistance and the selective decay of our most powerful muscle fibers, the path forward becomes one of strategic intervention. We must provide a signal so clear, so potent, and so well-timed that it can overcome the physiological inertia of aging and forcefully command the body's building machinery back into service. That signal is a morning bolus of high-quality, leucine-rich protein. To fully appreciate its power, we must delve deeper into the unique biochemical environment of the body upon waking. The overnight fast is a period of controlled catabolism. As the hours pass and liver glycogen is depleted, your body must find another source for glucose and amino acids to fuel your brain and support cellular functions. Your endocrine system facilitates this by increasing the circulation of catabolic hormones like glucagon and cortisol. Cortisol, in particular, follows a natural diurnal rhythm, peaking in the early morning. This is part of the dawn phenomenon, a natural process that helps mobilize energy to prepare you for the day. One of its primary actions is to promote the breakdown of protein in peripheral tissues, like skeletal muscle, to release amino acids into the bloodstream. Therefore, You wake up in a state that is not just passively fasted, but actively catabolic, with your hormonal environment literally programmed to deconstruct muscle tissue. This moment presents a profound fork in the road, and the choice of breakfast determines which path your body takes for the next several hours. Let us consider three distinct cellular scenarios. In scenario A, the individual skips breakfast entirely, having only coffee. In this case, the overnight catabolic state continues unabated. The demolition crew, encouraged by the hormonal environment, works at full capacity. The body continues to harvest amino acids from the muscles, leading to a significant period of net muscle loss that extends well into the morning. This is the path of accelerated decay. In scenario B, the individual consumes a traditional high-carbohydrate breakfast, a bowl of cereal with a splash of milk, or a bagel with cream cheese. The influx of carbohydrates triggers a strong insulin response. Insulin is a powerful anti-catabolic hormone. It effectively puts a stop to muscle protein breakdown. It tells the demolition crew their work is done for now. However, insulin on its own is a very poor activator of muscle protein synthesis in older adults. It's a stop sign for destruction, but not a green light for construction. A crucial opportunity is missed. The catabolic state is neutralized, but a significant anabolic or building state is not initiated. The net result is a state of metabolic neutrality, where the losses of the night are not regained. Now consider scenario C. The individual consumes a breakfast rich in high-quality protein, containing at least 30 grams. The amino acids from this meal are digested and begin to enter the bloodstream. This, just like in scenario B, triggers an insulin response that halts muscle breakdown. But critically, something else happens. The high concentration of the amino acid leucine floods the muscle cells, directly targeting and activating the master growth regulator, mTOR. This is not a suggestion to the body, it is an undeniable command. The mTOR pathway ignites a cascade of cellular activity, switching on the machinery for muscle protein synthesis. The construction crew receives a loud, clear, and unambiguous order to begin building, and they are simultaneously supplied with a rich source of all the raw materials, the other essential amino acids they need to do their job effectively. This scenario is the only one that results in a powerfully anabolic state, a period of several hours where muscle building significantly outpaces muscle breakdown. This is the path of reconstruction. It is the only strategy that actively combats the morning catabolic tide and begins to reverse the daily deficit, tipping the scales in favor of muscle preservation and growth. This concept hinges on what scientists call the leucine threshold. The muscle-building response to protein is not linear. It is a threshold-based phenomenon. Consuming a small dose of protein, say 10 grams, may elicit only a minimal response, not enough to overcome anabolic resistance. But consuming a dose of 30 or 40 grams crosses that leucine threshold, triggering a maximal response. Interestingly, consuming even more, say 60 grams in one sitting, does not appear to increase the muscle-building response any further, a concept known as the muscle-full effect. This is why the strategy of eating one enormous protein meal at night is so flawed. It's wasteful from a muscle-building perspective. The key is to hit that threshold, and the most critical time to hit it is in the morning to reverse the catabolic state. We must also briefly address a common yet outdated concern: the effect of protein on kidney health. For decades, it was thought that higher protein diets were harmful to the kidneys. However, extensive modern research has shown that for individuals with healthy functioning kidneys, higher protein intakes are not only safe, but are beneficial for maintaining muscle mass, bone density, and overall health. That being said, it is absolutely essential that anyone with pre-existing kidney disease or any other significant health condition consult with their personal physician before making any major dietary changes. This advice is about optimizing health in an already healthy individual, not treating a pre-existing pathology. The final and most crucial step is the translation of this profound biochemical science into a sustainable daily practice. Knowledge without action is merely trivia. It is the consistent application of these principles that forges a stronger, more resilient future. The primary objective is to construct a morning meal that reliably delivers a potent anabolic signal. This means aiming for a target of 30 to 40 grams of complete, high-quality protein. This isn't just a number. It is the scientifically validated dose required to breach the leucine threshold and maximally stimulate muscle protein synthesis in the face of age-related anabolic resistance. Achieving this requires a conscious departure from decades of cultural breakfast norms and an embrace of a protein-forward mindset from the moment you wake up. Let's explore the practical architecture of such a meal. Imagine building it in layers. Your foundation is your primary protein source. This could be 4 scrambled eggs, which provide roughly 24 grams of protein. To reach our target, you can add an ounce of cheese, bringing the total to over 30 grams. Or your foundation could be a cup and a half of 2% cottage cheese, which single-handedly delivers nearly 40 grams of protein, much of it slow-digesting casein, which provides a sustained release of amino acids. Another excellent foundation is a large, 7-ounce serving of plain Greek yogurt. This provides about 20 grams, so you would need to amplify it. Stirring in a scoop of protein powder can add another 25 grams, while also improving the texture. Adding a quarter cup of hemp seeds can contribute an additional 10 grams. The key is to see your breakfast not as a single item, but as a composition designed to meet a specific physiological goal. For those who find solid food challenging in the morning due to low appetite or dental concerns, the protein smoothie remains the most efficient and effective tool. A scoop and a half of a high-quality whey isolate, which is the most rapidly absorbed and leucine-rich option, can be blended with unsweetened almond milk, a large handful of greens like spinach or kale for micronutrients, a quarter of an avocado, or a tablespoon of nut butter for healthy fats, and a handful of berries for fiber and antioxidants. This creates a meal that is nutritionally complete, anabolically potent, and easy to digest. This dietary strategy must be paired with an equally important physical one, a commitment to resistance exercise. This is the non-negotiable partner to your protein intake. If protein is the capital you deposit in your muscle bank, exercise is the financial advisor that puts that capital to work to generate compound interest. Without the stimulus of exercise, that capital sits largely inert. The benefits of resistance training are twofold. First, the act of contracting your muscles against a challenging force is a direct, powerful signal for growth. It creates microscopic damage that your body, using the protein you've supplied, repairs and reinforces, making the muscle stronger. Second, and perhaps more importantly, regular resistance training makes your muscles more sensitive to the anabolic signals from protein. It helps to cure anabolic resistance. It is like upgrading the communication systems in our city analogy, ensuring the foreman's instructions are received loud and clear. Your exercise program should be comprehensive. It must include strength work. This means movements like squats, using a chair for support and safety, lunges, and glute bridges. The goal is progressive overload. Once you can comfortably perform 12 repetitions of an exercise, you must find a way to make it slightly more challenging, either by adding another set, more repetitions, or a small amount of weight. This continuous challenge is what tells your body that it must adapt by getting stronger, but strength alone is not enough. You must also train for balance and stability. Sarcopenia weakens the muscles, but aging also affects our neuromuscular system, the connection between brain and body. Balance training, such as standing on one foot for 30 seconds or practicing walking heel to toe along a line, helps to retrain and sharpen these connections. This ensures that you not only have the strength to catch yourself from a fall, but also the rapid coordination to do so effectively. Finally, consider the timing around your exercise. While the morning protein dose is the most critical for stopping the overnight fast, the period immediately following a resistance training session represents another window of opportunity. After a workout, your muscles are temporarily sensitized and are particularly greedy for amino acids to begin the repair process. Consuming a smaller protein snack, perhaps 15-20 grams from a glass of milk or a small tub of yogurt, within an hour or two after your workout can further enhance the recovery and building process. Think of each day as an opportunity to make a strategic deposit into your account of physical capital. Your morning protein meal is your large foundational investment. Your exercise session is the act of putting that investment to work. Each subsequent meal is a smaller, supplemental deposit. The returns may seem small on a day-to-day basis, but over months and years, the power of this compounding effect is extraordinary. It is the difference between a future of managed decline and a future of sustained strength. This is not about vanity or recapturing youth. It is about preserving the very essence of a dignified and engaged life. It is the conscious decision to build a body that can continue to carry you with strength and confidence through all the years you have left to live. The betrayal you may feel is not a final verdict. It is simply a signal that a new strategy is required. That strategy is now in your hands.